Okay, should be going live here. I've corrected a couple things this last blunder. Uh, There we go. All right, I'm going to pause this over here. So tonight I'll be slightly paying attention to the comments. And let's see. So last night somebody was saying, "Oh, I wish this was closer," but uh, let's try and get it slightly closer. I don't know if that's going to do it, but there is no swivel on this. Oh, there is right. Oh, there is a swivel. Oh, okay. Using this one. Okay. Um. Okay. So it's kind of interesting. I must have used too much like linseed oil when I was initially throwing this down here, because the linseed oil dries a little bit, and actually it made this like weird sort of cracking right here or separation. It's kind of interesting. Like I'll end up covering most of this up with this buffalo that I'm going to be putting here in the middle. Um, so hopefully I can get to that tonight. My kid just fell asleep a little bit ago. All right. So, oh, yeah, I'm kind of terrible at paying attention to the comments. Um, all right. So we're gonna. Okay. So last night I was working on this. I had started doing this sort of small lake, which after I kind of like reviewed this um painting as I was watching it today and a little bit last night, I just kind of realized like, oh hey, this lake is like way too. It's not even too big or too small. It's just like it's well, it is too big. So that's the problem. If I go closer to the painting, then you can't see my palette. But I guess that's my palette right now. But um, I'm just gonna kind of take in this white a little bit with a little bit of black and see where that goes. Yeah, there's like way too much white there. So this color that I'm using here is a combination of Prussian blue, sienna brown, or burnt sienna, and a little bit of black, a little bit of purple. But it's being altered and changed by the white and by the other paints that are already on the canvas here. So one thing that people don't really understand when you're doing oil painting is that the only way to paint over a color and not have it like really mix is having that paint be thicker, or actually thinner paint can go on top of uh, thicker paint. So like a base paint that you get out of the tube, you lay that down, and then you can actually lay down uh, a thinner paint on top of that, which I kind of need to do right now because oh shit, no, because my paints from last night seem to have magically dried up slightly. Usually paint like this, like you can just leave on your palette overnight and it's good the next day. But for some reason, maybe it's because it's super cold down here in our lower level, that just took some moisture out of the paint. So I'm also bringing some of this um, darker paint up under this sort of snow line that I made really hastily last night. Oh wow, we got a lot more comments. Oh yeah, my music. One second, I forgot about the music. All right, my bad. Background music. Let's go with a little lounge music. Let me know in the chat if that's too loud or if it's too. Okay. Well, you could say I'm just a talentless hack when it comes to painting myself. I don't even know I'm painting this part right down here because it's going to be covered up by this hill I'm going to be putting here, but yeah, that's what it is. So I just kind of want to get some of this filled in here. I think this moon is okay now. This moon reflection, I should say. I switched over to this kind of smaller brush. The other one's more of that brush kind of stuff. There we go. It's kind of, knowing what brush to use though, it's kind of a struggle sometimes when you're having to like fix things. I'm just taking in the circumference of this moon a little bit, just because I feel that it's like way too big. I mean, that's a huge moon, and it should be about the same, I would think. I mean, that's pretty close, but again, I think part of that's gonna be covered up, or most of it. I'm gonna redo this painting in a bigger format. Oh well, I'm also buffering my sun behind it. Son of a green card, I actually love it, but up here. Oh, Leon Holbert, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm trying to pay attention to this chat. I think that's okay. Yeah, no way. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's looking better. So it's going to be difficult because I want to put a buffalo. I think I'll just put the buffalo maybe more left center than right smack dab in the middle. We'll see. I got to fix this snow line up here a little bit. Snow line. And then we can progress. So, this paint really dried up since last night. Very weird. So to kind of rehydrate the paint, I just throw a little linseed oil in there, kind of mix it around a little bit. You can see that there. The linseed oil is just kind of like a yellowish, clear oil. Might just be clear. I don't know. All right, snow line. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that out of there. Emojis. Laura, if you just sent a bunch of emojis, they didn't really come through too well. They came through as squares on my side. Not sure if that was intentional. All right, so you want to get like this little snow line in here. It's gonna just kind of be like emulating bushes a little bit. That can be just whatever you want it to be, really. Just kind of want to give it just a little pop there to kind of give it that sort of feeling that it's just bushes or something kind of sticking up there. Like what you want to try and do is use the light and the darks. That you already have going there. I think I'm gonna put like a big tree right up in here. So, all right, what I'm gonna do here now is kind of I need. I'm just gonna pull these down slightly. You're going to want to pull straight down when you're doing this. And that kind of gives the illusion that it's a reflection in the water. So I'm not really paying too much attention to this over here because this is going to be filled in by a buffalo. I just want to kind of get this reflection in there. I'm going to drop a tree over here on this side. I might do a couple clouds up in here. Not 100% sure yet. But I got the reflection in there for now. It's okay. You know what I want to do? I'm actually gonna get. So there's a lot of white in here. I'm gonna mix in just some blues. So this light is just so over, like exposing everything. So I'm basically just taking a little bit of white, getting a little bit of blue in there from this. Over here I have a little phthalo blue, and it's very strong. So I'm just kind of diluting that down a little bit with a little bit of white. Ooh, too much. Yeah, it's way too much phthalo blue. Good lord. Let's wipe my brush off. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, let's look at the chat here. Whoa, happy trees. Go for the reference. The smell of oil paints is very strong. Not really. It's I don't really think oil paints are that strong. I think paint thinner is pretty strong. And that's stuff that I just don't even open up in the house, like I said before. So right here, I'm just throwing in a little bit of this the blues here that I have. I always want to kind of break up. You feel like you have too much color on the canvas, you just want to break it up. Otherwise, it'll just look like you just smeared a shitload of toothpaste all over it or something. What do you guys think of this lounge music? It's kind of almost too jazzy for my taste. And don't get me wrong, I like jazz, but not at the expense of others. All right, so okay, I'm happy with that in a way. I'm gonna take a little bit of white here. This is gonna kind of define. Well, first I'm gonna take the cat hair off the end of my brush. I'm gonna like kind of just be like sort of a iciness to the edge of this water to kind of give it a, you know, that sort of frozen over look, you know, whatever the hell that is. It's just gonna be covered up by a freaking tree. I always do that. I always end up like working too hard on something. I'm just like, oh, let's just plop a huge, freaking tree in there. Okay, so let me think how I'm gonna do this. All right, so I need to get this foreground in here. And I need to get this buffalo kind of like solidified in this area. And I need this tree over here. So let's throw in, I'm just gonna throw in a little bit more of this bushy business over here. And then, should I do, I'm trying to think here. Usually I would do like sort of a snowy, we're not doing snow right here. I'm gonna do, so I was doing this just sort of sketch earlier of what I kind of wanted to do. And it's gonna be like a hill that's here. But I need to just make sure that the hill makes sense. I'm gonna end up covering up most of this here, I think. And then we'll see. We'll see where it goes, you know. Just the main focal point of this painting, I wanted to be this buffalo. We'll get there. All right. All right. I'm going to put in this tree first before I get all up into this buffalo situation. So tree, again, I'm just going to use this darker color that I have over here. Actually, need to make a little bit more of it. Yeah, I do. That paint's sticky today. Real sticky. So again, just mixing a little bit of this burnt sienna from last night, a little bit of this cobalt blue. You know, I'm gonna switch this music up. It's just I feel like I'm throwing myself off with this trash. Lounge music. Nope. Let's go with a little lo-fi. Let me know if the music's too loud, please. Yeah. Plot thickens indeed. All right, we're gonna throw in Oh, this makes me nervous every time I do this. Got to make big decisions here, people. What are you gonna do? You throw a huge tree in here, or not? It's like these defining moments when you're painting is what makes it sort of fun and interesting. I'm not out of battery. I'm at 15% battery. Come on, people. All right, let's Bob Ross this crap up. Yeah, this is gonna be a big freaking tree. And it's gonna be, yeah, that's gonna cover up most of this lake that I just did here. It's okay, you know, like that's why we do these things, you know, it's just part of the development process. Yeah, I like that up. I always end up with like these huge globules of paint because it's like more black. Maybe a little phthalo green. But with the nighttime, with a tree that you're painting that is not even in the where the hell did my black paint go? Okay, so with a tree, you're like, oh well, okay, you know, you'd think like, oh, it's gonna be like green, and all that, right? But it's like green. Nighttime painting, that green tree turns black on one side if it's not lit by the moon, and you can't forget these things when you're doing a painting. There we go. That's. So I did a little phthalo green and black right here. And this, God, this paint is just chunky. It's really shitty. It's like peanut butter. So it's like you want to load up your brush with a lot of it, but at the same time, you don't want chunks. And you don't want random cat hairs. So I'm gonna start up here. We're just gonna throw in a little branch there. Maybe one up here. You know, these trees, these evergreens are, I don't know, it's like this entire winter I've been, you know, staring at various evergreens out my car or out my window when I'm like waiting for my kid to get out of school. And seems like no matter what tree you look at, like they're always, each tree is just a little bit different. And I find it hard to capture, you know, just like the true sort of essence of that pine tree. No matter how many of them I do. Bob Ross, on the other hand, is just like, oh, you throw this fucking branch in here, you throw this branch in here, and how's that looking? Yeah, that's looking all right. Let's check the chat. Weed tree. Yeah. Weed plants. Yeah, digital is you know, a whole different thing. You blot in the tree, yeah, I get that, but like sometimes blotting isn't always like when it's these upper branches, It is not as simplistic as one thinks. Bob Ross makes it look freaking easy because he's like, oh, just throw the shit in here like this, whatever. But then you're like, oh shit, I have all this shitty paint here that you end up having to scrape off. And that's fine, you get spray paint off, that's completely fine. But the problem is that you don't want to get into is like having, shitty paint behind what you're doing, really. How's my brush? So depending upon which way you angle this brush is the way that these bows are going to downturn. And if you go from this angle, they're going to be curving down. If you go from the up angle, they're going to curve upward. And I'm not the best when it comes to these trees, but let's see. How does that look here? A little bit more black. And then you kind of just go around, you fill it in, and you kind of get rid of some of these areas that there you go. So especially these whites underneath this tree, like that's why I scraped it off, because it's very hard to cover up that thin white paint. But like this looks somewhat natural because, like, of course, if the moon was like completely out and you had all this like sort of white snow, white fluffy bushes and shit behind it, you would get some of that coming through here. And it's like natural that this section of the tree would just be popping out a little bit more with light, but I'll do something here in a minute to show you so there's like two phases of doing a tree. It's like you throw down your base layer and then shit. Maybe I'll just grab a different brush for this. Out of black. Let's look at the chat. Go with the tree that close to the snow to cover it. Yes. Yes, indeed. Hard. Look. Yeah. I have a hard time pronouncing it. Yes, snow indeed. So I'm going to take another fan brush here. We're going to get some of this sort of the same colors that we were using over here in these bushes, like my sort of blue snow mixture. And we're going to pop in a little bit of color just here and there. Not too much. Not too much. This is one thing I always struggle with. It's like, how much snow is too much? And it's like, is it too dark at that point? I can't even see that side of the tree because of this stupid light. All right, I need some more white on my palette here. I've eaten up all my white. Okay. 11 simple. That's good. I don't use a new brush. Let's just grab. So another thing with these trees is like, okay, if you throw it on your base color that's extremely black, you're gonna end up smudging your brush with black. Again, just kind of like with this snowy mountain stuff up there. The creativity in the family is still awesome. Oh yeah, I hear that. So these are going to be a little bit lighter up here. And you might just have some snow kind of just hanging off some of these little situations up there. That's not 100% terrible. I need to come back through with a little bit of black. Like take this in just slightly. I think I need a little more. Oh, that's great. It's like, where does pink come from? Like brown. But yeah, there's just some burnt sienna brown paint like on my brush right there. It's like, no, I have to wash it off. Oh, what? Did somebody do gold pills for me already? Oh, I appreciate the gold pills. Got Son of a Green card through me. 30. Wow, thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's all going back to Phil, by the way. Just with server costs and everything. I got Laura. Thank you very much for the gift of shade there. Thank you so much. All right, so so the bottom side of this tree is a little bit naked right now. That's completely fine. Oh my gosh. I actually need to grab a charger real quick so my phone doesn't die. I will be right back in one moment. Please enjoy the painting and the ambiance. go. Okay. All right, we have power again. It's always a nice thing to have. Okay, so we are back. It was good today until my today. Okay, all right. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna end up filling this in with probably some bushes, some junk, some wintry junk. All right, my computer battery is almost dying now too. I can just wait. All right, so got 29 minutes of my battery left. I might not get through the entire buffalo tonight. We'll see. I've never painted a buffalo. I drew a picture of one today, and that's about as far as I got. So, trying to think here. Okay, so we're gonna need some white. Let's take this brush. All right. Okay, so I'm just taking some white here, and I'm kind of pulling this paint down so I can get, basically just grab a nice roll like that. And I'm gonna try and not screw this up completely. So what I want to do is just like kind of just make this snowy sort of hill here. I'm just trying to think of how to do this. I hear the jet causes winter jump. That's funny. Yeah, that jet caused a whole lot of junk. It's damn sure. Sometimes it's hard to get that right angle that you need. I feel like that's too white. I just a little bit more blue mixed in here. Oh, that's also nice too. So the edge of my palette needs to come out just a little bit because I can't, if it's recessed in there, I can't get at it as easily. What the hell was that? I love hearing random noises when it's just me and my kid here in the house. Like, like a door opening or something. Like creak of it, It's always unnerving a little bit. Where'd that brown come from? That's ridiculous. Okay. Alright. Doing these like foregrounds and like spreading this paint is always kind of somewhat of a disaster, but then it comes together a little bit more later on. So you're like, God damn, where the hell's he going with this? So it's just like this mountain up here, just a little bit bigger. One thing with like some palettes, like if you press down too hard with your how do you say with the clamp that essentially holds your palette in place, is kind of bends the palette slightly so that it deforms the palette, and then you have to like kind of deal with this being higher than the palette. It just sucks. Just giving this a little bit of texture here. Like that. So what I'm trying to do is make a definite line that is separating this background business from this foreground business. And it's come along. I appreciate you. Appreciate you all bearing with me. So anybody out there in the chat, do you have like a specific type of oil painting that you like, or some of you like abstract or landscapes or whatever looks good? Okay, this will be good. I can actually bring this tree down here and do a little bit more. Layering with this tree. So that'll be cool. Okay, and that's pretty thick paint, so I can just go over it with some thinner stuff. Let me just stand back here and look at this real quick here. I always want to kind of stand back from your painting a little bit and just kind of take it in, look at it, and be like, okay, is this what I like? Is this right? And it's like you can always go back and just touch things up real quick. Like I feel like this moon reflection is just a little bit weak here. Okay. Okay, yeah, once I bring this tree down a little bit and get some of these boughs, plugged in here, that'll be cool. I'll then finish that off. So let's just do that real quick. I'm gonna grab some more of this paint over here. Let's just see how this is treated. Yeah, I need to kind of do a little scrapage here. And this is fine. You can scrape your painting. Not a big deal. But if you plan things out pretty good, you don't really have to scrape too much, if anything. But even Bob Ross scrapes stuff up, like he's like, oh, I really like this. Then he just scrapes it and takes it out. And like I've actually scraped entire mountains. Like I've done, yeah, my last one that I did before this 36 by 24 canvas, I actually painted this huge black mountain on it, thinking I was going to do like a sort of evening dusk tropical island thing, and like I was like, oh, this is like the amount of detail I was going to be able to put in that painting was just going to be like kind of null because like it's like you have a black island essentially, if you can imagine a sunset, like a Hawaiian sunset or something. It depends upon your perspective and all, but anyway. All right, let's get some more of this in here. Yeah, this tree's got a fat bottom on it. That's fine. Now Bob Ross, he always does these he's like, oh, let's put another, another tree right next to it. I don't mind doing that, and I do it on most of mine, but for this one, I just don't feel like that tree needs a friend, The friend of the tree is going to be the buffalo. That's what the tree is going to be. All right, let's bring this baby down here. All right, black on those. We're going to come back through with a little bit of lighter blue mixture here. We're just going to pop a little color in there. All right. Okay, that's starting to shape up. So you can see now that like from the beginning of the painting to like now, it's like, okay, so we just had these trees in the background, and we added that snowy little business back there. We pulled that down. We added this sort of foreground with all those little snowy bushes, grasses, and now we've added this background, I should say, and this is a foreground. So now I'm ready to be like, okay, I'm gonna throw some, frosty bushes in here, and then like my frost giant buffalo here. I think that'll look pretty cool. There needs to be a little bit more something here to add more of a difference between this layer and this layer. I have to think about that for a minute, because I can do that a couple different ways. So yeah, okay. So to add that sort of difference here, I'll just show you real quick what I'm thinking. And you can always change this. Nothing is really Definitely. Actually, I'm gonna grab a different sort of brush for this. This is actually an auto detailing brush that I chopped down a little bit, and it's really good for kind of just getting in there with a little bit of paint. Getting like a sort of puffy, frosty bush. Let's check the chat real quick. Bridge or dock? No, you can't. I mean, this is the middle of nowhere. Nobody. I mean, in some other paintings, I've had like little fences or little houses, but a stump? That's not a bad idea. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But I need more freaky paint. I keep running out of paint. 1 second here, people. Tree stump. I do like that tree stump idea. I've never done a tree stump. I don't know how that would sit there. It would be like, we'll see. So I think, where's my blue? Oh, I got blue right there. Okay. So I'm gonna use this brush instead of the other one I was gonna do. Grab a little bit of blue color here. I wonder what that would look like with green as well. I think I can grab a little bit of phthalo green. I'm just testing out colors here. I'm getting some. That's a little bit too minty. I don't know. I'm just kind of looking at these two different colors here. Like, do I want a bush that's sort of, foxhole, foxhole-ish, or do I want like? See that those two colors are too dark even. Let's see what they look like together. That's not bad. Now the problem is with like green, it's like, yeah, you got evergreens, but at night greens kind of turn to black pretty easily, and I'd rather just go blue with it. So I'm just gonna put a bush in here, and this is gonna be kind of covered in with a little bit of I'm gonna put some white highlights in here too. I'm gonna actually bring some bush into here as well. Okay. Right there, it's just like kind of taking off a little bit of that. Ugh, damn it, this green is getting everywhere. Shouldn't be mixing colors with a brush. I should be mixing with. That brush sucks. Oh, good Lord. Okay. If the brush is too stiff, then that really kind of inhibits your use of being able to sort of like pop it and create these sort of bush features. chat fox den. I mean, what does a fox den look like? Is that like a hole ground? Sasquatch, do you see Sasquatch? You know, I always want to put I always want to put a Sasquatch in my paintings, like in the background or something. It's just, you know, it's just one of those right time, right place situation. All right, I'm gonna fix the bushes a little bit when this dries up, but sometimes these bushes just get a little unwieldy. Hard to, they don't cooperate very well, especially if you don't get the right brushes on it. Let's see here. So let's start in buffalo. All right, buffalo. So, okay, we need to lay down a base color for this buffalo. And with that, I'm just going to use this brush here. And the base color is just really going to be sort of the same as the tree. I mean, so a buffalo is brown in the daylight. I mean, it's brown all the time, but when exposed to light, it goes from, they would appear almost black. So I'm just gonna start out with like where the okay. So just mixing up this paint here real quick. I think I do. Brown doesn't really show up as brown at night. Okay, that's kind of the biggest issue here. Okay. So we want a black base color, and then we're gonna kind of just how I did the tree. We're gonna have like little, like you'll be able to see like little like sort of snowy ice crystals like kind of on it. I need to get to bed. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Liana. Glad to have you here. I feel like that's gonna be too thin. Thinned out my paint too much, so I need to kind of unthicken it. So it's like if you have your paint too thin, and the issue with that is that you can't put anything on top of it, and it takes, you know, a month to dry. Usually the dry time on paint is 7 days in most conditions. Oh yeah, last night I went through that whole debacle with my trashy got watercolors. Oh, really, I should have done. I should have done is actually not even done this section. I should have actually just done this in acrylic right here, maybe. There. But, you know, we're going to get brown, we're going to get black, and a little bit of, well, burnt in and black. Let's see what this looks like here. Shit. All right, I'll be back in a moment. Okay. Had to plug in my laptop in. All right, let's get some back in here. Cat here. Yeah, too brown. There we go. This one did just have just a touch of brown and a black. Because again, this is like a base coat, right? All right. Oh, shoot me in the face! I always hate doing this. Okay, so it might look like I'm screwing things up like real bad here, but just bear with me. We'll make it through. I'm just kind of getting this initial shape. It's calling me. Oh yeah. 1 second. All right. So I'm just kind of getting this sort of, or I think this buffalo is going to be. And I'm going to end the stream here in just a moment, just because my girlfriend called and she needs me to talk to her a little bit while she drives home from a concert. So, So yeah, this is, and one thing, another reason why I need to actually end the stream here too is because this paint, I need to let it solidify slightly before I continue on. But you can see here that the buffalo is like definitely coming through. I always think buffalo are kind of funny because they have these big hulking backs and these tiny, tiny stubby legs, you know? They're kind of funny in that regard. I think I'm good with the proportions here on this thing. I guess all of them. Okay, that's where I'm going to end this stream for tonight. Okay, I need to think about this buffalo a little bit more. I think I got the back legs a little too long. I also got to let this base coat solidify. I might make it just a little bit larger. I got to really stand back and think about it. And sometimes these things just take a little bit longer to think about than what they take to actually do. So, yeah, we're gonna end the stream here for tonight. I appreciate y'all watching. Let me just look at the chat here real quick. On the interview, thanks for sharing your painting with us. So yeah, there's going to be a part 3 tonight or tomorrow night, where I'm just kind of finishing up this buffalo and going from there. So appreciate y'all watching. Thanks for the gold pills. I will release the scratch off here, and the scratching has been released. And again, during the day I'm working on the release for Phil Foxhole. It's gonna be awesome. A lot of operational stuff going on right now. We're trying to make sure like everybody's stuff is right, good. And yeah, again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy it, and please come back and watch again tomorrow night. All right, thanks. Have a great night.